This is Megatron from Transformers Earthspark, and he's one of the good guys. First, let's take a look at the packaging. Some artwork of Megatron over there, some stuff for the Build-A-Figure, which I don't care about. Quick look at the side, the other side showing off the Build-A-Figure, and here's the back. Also, notice how they show the cannon twice on the box art. Here's Megan, and he does have a much more angular style than his G1 counterpart. And while this figure does have a few problems, it's not bad. A few things I don't like about this figure are the cable pieces on the side because it really obstructs the arms. And they don't seem like they're easily removable, and I'm afraid to break them. These collar pieces are a bit too high, limiting the head rotation, and it has a bit too many hollow pieces for my liking, mainly on the arms and the legs over here. And a bit for the feet. But this part is meant for the transformation, which we will get to. All that aside, the rest of the figure isn't too bad. The mold of the head sculpt is alright, not a whole lot of detail, and you can see some stretch marks already on mine. It has a bit of design at the side, the back is fairly plain, he has his red eyes, and I feel like his mouth is very plain, making him have a very deadpan neutral face. He has a bit of a design on the chin, which is kind of hard to make out. The chest piece doesn't look too bad. You have some of these red bits up here, along with the rest of it being a semi-shiny silver. You have his Decepticon symbol here, the cockpit for the vehicle mode, some nice red on the sides. Onto the arms, I do feel like these shoulder pieces are a bit bulky, and they do have a bit of panel working going all the way around. You have some silver paint over there. The rest of the arms, not too much going on. There's a bit of red on the forearm, but other than that, not too much detail. Here's a closer look at those hands. This part is gray with the fingers being a grayish black. The crotch area is a metallic gray with some nice sculpting on there. Over to the side skirts, you have a bit of paneling there, and if you take a look right over here, you can see 3 missiles. Same with this side. The legs have these silver bits here, some basic sculpting for the thighs, and the rest of the legs being primarily black with a tiny amount of designs going on, and the feet being very basic. A look at the back of the figure, you'll see more of the vehicle mode parts. You also have this back skirt piece, and then not too much going on here. One thing I noticed that is interesting is that these ball joints seem kind of rough, and I'm assuming that's to make the joints tighter. And speaking of ball joints, this figure does have a lot of ball joints. You have some on the shoulders, the arms like I mentioned earlier, the skirt pieces, and the legs are ball joints. I'm assuming the head is as well. If you're curious about the accessories, he does come with one cannon. You can see some nub marks, which is kind of disappointing, and the sculpting of this is alright. It's nothing special. You can plug it into the side of the arm, as well as this side if you wanted to. And another thing you can do is have him hold it on his hands. He also has another 5mm port over here and over here that you can plug the weapon into. He does also come with an arm. And it's got a nice texture to it? I don't know. This is for the Build-A-Figure, which I don't really care for, and I'm not sure if I'm going to buy the rest of these lines of figures anyways. Similarities to the G1 counterpart can be seen in the head along with the red eyes. The chest piece does look pretty different, but they both have red on the sides, as well as the side skirt pieces. Both of them have cannons on the right arm, and the legs are really similar as well. Here is next to 2 versions of Beast Wars Megatron, Studio Series Hot Rod, Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, some deluxe class figures from the Legacy line, and as you can see, size scaling aside, it doesn't really proportion well with the other figures in terms of design, and Megatron from the Ultimate Battle 2-pack. Now for articulation, the head can spin all the way around, but it does run into the collar, so I would be careful about that. The arm can move up like this, mainly for the transformation, but it does work for the robot mode. This arm is on a ball joint, so it can move back and forth and a little bit up and down. It can also rotate a full 360. This part of the arm is on a hinge joint. There is an elbow bend, and you can rotate it from there. Oops. These side pieces also have 360 rotation. These skirt pieces are on a ball joint, so they have a good range of movement to them. The leg can move forward. You get a really good knee bend. You can bring them out to the side. This skirt piece can move up, and then you can move the legs back. There is also a peg for a stand, but now it's kind of weird having that skirt piece stick up. There is a thigh rotation. The feet also do have a pivot. This can move for the transformation. The articulation on this figure isn't the best, and I had a hard time getting it in more dynamic poses. Now the transformation on this figure is super simple. First we turn the figure around to bring this up, then we pull the figure up, separating the legs, use the hinge joints to bring up both of these arm pieces, and then we need to snap them into place, which can be kind of difficult to do. Okay, I think that's as close as we're gonna get it. Next we can rotate both of these arm pieces, and then bring the arms down and tab these into place. Same over here on this side. Now the instructions kind of complicate that part, but this way is easier. Now we can bring the skirt pieces out to the side, close in the feet, Try not to drop the figure. Now we can rotate the legs and bring them in like so. Same with this side. And we need to get this to snap into place, but the connection on mine is loose, so I'm not able to do it properly. Now we can close that piece, and there we have whatever this is. Now I'm sure this looks much better in the show, and it doesn't look too bad here either. I don't really like how the arms stick out like that. I think it's very noticeable. I'm really not a big fan of this faux cock piece area. This is the actual cock piece for the vehicle mode. These skirt pieces coming up to the side with the missiles being there doesn't really make any sense, because now they can't fire. And like I said earlier, this piece doesn't tab in all the way. The blades can spin, which is nice. These should also be able to rotate, but they cannot on the figure. For a $20 deluxe class figure, it looks alright. You have some detail on the front piece, once again with that nice silver and some panel working. Not too much crazy designs going on at the top, and once again the underneath of the figure looks just alright, my biggest complaint being this chest piece here. Now the weapon can split in two. The connection is very tight on it, so it takes a little bit of finessing. But once you get it like that, you can store these on the vehicle mode with this piece going there and that piece going there. And while it does make it look asymmetrical, it is something. And the connection is super tight. I'm afraid I'm gonna break these by taking them off. Yeah, they're really stuck on there now. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention is that he does have some faux wheels at the back, but not a single one at the front. The Earthspark Megatron is an alright figure. It's not really made for adult collectors, so it is something you could skip out on. And if you want to see an oversized bootleg Bumblebee, check out that video over here.